Just been discussing, of course, this whole idea from Nicola Sturgeon about making the general election the mandate, if you like, or the referendum on independence. That's going to be very difficult for you.
Not really. Scotland's joining the United Kingdom predates the 1998 Act, and the Supreme Court today spoke about the 1998 Act and the fact that a creature created by the Westminster Parliament, the devolved Parliament at Holyrood, doesn't have the power to have a referendum, to hold a referendum on independence. One door closes, but many other doors open. We now have the situation where we will have to choose an election, and which election? Perhaps by many elections. So the opportunities for Scottish independence have grown infinitely as a result of the Supreme Court's ruling.
Right.
And another point to note is the freedom on the ease members of the European Union can leave. It's very clear, nobody else interferes. It's left to that member. But in the UK, it ain't so free, and it ain't left to that member. So there's a clear distinction of freedom of nations and exactly what this court ruling means. But I can see a lot of opportunities from this court ruling this morning.
But Nicola Sturgeon, I think I'm right in saying in her speech, was indicating that the general election would be, in her view, the real test for this to go to the voters. Given that, I mean, isn't that rather self-indulgent, given the state of the NHS north of the border, where we're being told there are discussions for a two-tier system, given the whole discussion over what's happened with Scottish ferry contracts? People may actually think, well, the SNP haven't done that good a job north of the border, let's kick them out.
Well, in a democracy, the people can do what they want, and we want them to be able to choose as they want, and the Westminster government doesn't. But it's because of all these issues. You know, we know that the middle earners in France are 20% wealthier than the middle earners in the UK, that the lower earners in France are 25% wealthier, that the 5% of the poorest in independent Ireland, independent from the UK incidentally, are 63% wealthier than those in the UK. So it's because of those very reasons that we want independence. We want to move our society on. We want to do that through governments we elect, with policies we want, not the economic zealots and crazies that we have with the Tories for the last number of years that have left the UK in a very powerless situation. It is number 32 in the OECD League of 32. Leading the way, incidentally, are Ireland and Malta. It places the UK newspapers and media mocked on the way to independence. He who laughs last, laughs best. And the Supreme Court has given us a lot of opportunities for a lot of times to ask the Scottish people if they want independence. I'm sure we'll win it the first time, but I don't think that some of the unionist side quite understand the situation as it is now. All has changed, and changed utterly.
Yeah, although they would point out that that was the vote and that should be there for a decade. But however, out of time, Angus MacNeil at Westminster, thank you.
Democracy is not a full stop.
OK.
Democracy is not a full stop.
A hyphen or a pause, maybe.
You can ask the people whenever.
But I'm going to have to put a full stop on it there anyway. Angus, thank you very much for joining us there at Westminster. We'll speak to you again, no doubt, as the debate continues.